Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. The put to call ratio right now is pretty low. I mean, it's not extremely low, but it's below 5.0. It's at 5. It's at 0.48. I mean, it would be better if it was down in the low fours, but you know, it's fairly low. It's not in the middle, so we might end up seeing a rug pull maybe. It's hard to say, but just looking at that and the economic calendar for the week, really not too much going on. Tomorrow being the 7th, nothing. Tuesday the 8th, nothing. Wednesday the 9th, we have FOMC without Powell at 2. No news. So yeah, just the FOMC minutes, no Powell. Thursday we have unemployment claims at 8:30. And Friday, nothing. So very light week on the data, except for FOMC's and unemployment claims. That's about it. So I really don't see anything on the horizon that's gonna stop SPY from chugging along. I mean, Trump could come out with something. We could have tariff news, or something could end up happening, and the market could end up dumping. But we're just gonna, just gonna probably just keep gapping and grinding. I mean, until something happens, the market's just gonna keep chugging along. And I mean, Friday's all-time high is 626, which was Friday's high. Well, not Friday, Thursday's high. Was this Thursday? Yeah, Thursday's high. It's Friday. We didn't have any action because of it was 4th of July, but I was looking at the futures though on the 4th, and we gapped down. Well, we dropped pretty good. I don't know if it will actually show it or not. Yeah, see, we get it dropped right here on the 4th, right there. Actually, it's saying the 7th. So this is actually Friday the 4th. Even though it's saying 725, but yeah, we did pull back a little bit when I was watching futures, so maybe we gap down, but I don't know, we'll probably end up rebounding by open anyway. So but yeah, I mean, it gets over Friday's high, we're probably going to shoot to 630, 650 probably be the next big number as far as SPY. But the thing is with SPY, RSI is so high on the hourly, but it was high over here too. Right here, we just had a small pullback, then it grinded up. I mean, we could end up seeing the same kind of scenario where we pull back just enough to maybe like 622 to gap support, and then we end up just cooling off the RSI numbers, and we just keep going. We do see those things end up happening, so watch for that, especially when you see SPY and VIX gap up together. That's usually a signal that VIX is going to end up dropping and SPY is going to continuing. I mean, we've seen that all the time previous years. When you see SPY overbought, massively overbought conditions, and VIX gets too low, they end up doing some VIX shenanigans where VIX will gap up with SPY. So SPY can run more, or SPY will drop a little bit and VIX will pop a lot on a small red candle, and then SPY just keeps going and VIX has more room to drop more. So just keep an eye on those little hints from VIX, because if we keep slow grinding up like we have been, that we're going to see those shenanigans. Now, if for some reason we do end up pulling back, we got gap down here to fill at 620. We get gaps down here at the 570 too. Well, actually at 600, 570. I mean, at this point, we can't even get SPY to pull back and have a red candle. We haven't had a red candle in over a week. I mean, to fill a gap down to 600, it seems like you need something really massive to happen just to get back to 600, let alone the 570 or the 530 area. So, I mean, that's a pretty huge pullback. But, you know, Trump is thinking about, you know, doing something with Powell. So maybe something happens with Powell. I mean, if Powell gets fired or replaced, the market is going to dump really, really hard. Now, if you were around and trading when Powell got nominated for the Fed chair, the market had a flash crash. And even though they have a new Fed chair, the market does not like uncertainty. Then they don't know what Powell's going to do when he first got in. So that's why the market freaked out. So if Trump ends up replacing him with somebody else, the market could freak out substantially just from the uncertainty of what the new Fed chair could do. But I don't know if they'll actually. They got so many things and precautionary things in place now. I don't think we'll have a massive flash crash. We'll end up halting and doing a lot of things, if anything. But we halted a lot too back in when Powell got nominated. I remember we halted like a few times. They can't halt after hours, so if something happens after hours, the market could be really crazy. But I mean, this is like really, really out there thinking. Who knows what will end up happening? But I'm just saying that something could end up happening, but I would not go and buy a bunch of puts or a bunch of VIX calls and hope for the end of the world, because the people that hope for the end of the world or these massive volatility things, they rarely, rarely, rarely ever happen. And you will lose more money trying to predict one of these things than you will just trading what the chart is right there. So yeah, that's my take on SPY and VIX. I mean, VIX is pretty low right now, but like I said, it pulled back. It was at 17. VIX could easily get back to 15, actually 15, into this 13 and 12 area. So the closest, more intermediate support is the 15, but if SPY just keeps grinding, we could see VIX at 13, so definitely could see VIX at 12 or 13. So keep an eye on the VIX. VIX is going to give you some hints this week. So many things are overbought, but I mean, like I said, I don't really see anything on the horizon to make anything pull back. I mean, we got earnings coming up at the end of the middle to end of July, so maybe that will do something. I mean, a lot of these places are so overbought that their earnings will have to be perfect. And with tariffs starting to come into effect, I mean, maybe the earnings will not be that good. Maybe the future guidance will be terrible, and the market will just go nuts at the end of the month. Who knows? I mean, we don't know. But they've been saying, even Powell's been saying, it's going to take months to see the ramifications of the tariffs. And if that's the case, I mean, this earnings coming up in this round could end up being the one that starts setting things going crazy. So, but Amazon, I mean, Amazon gets over 224, probably going to push to 230, 240 on Amazon. All-time high is 242. So we get to 240. We're probably going to challenge all-time high on that. So definitely keep an eye on Amazon. BA is another one. I'd be watching BA on both sides, frankly. You get inverted head and shoulders. You get the left, the head, and small right shoulder. It gets over this, we'll see 218, 219 area. We could end up pushing and maybe challenging this gap resistance up here at 233, 234. We'll round up. And that's an area where it could probably find heavy resistance right there. But for some reason, if you can't get over 220 or this 218 area, I would watch it underneath 210 for push down to 200. We lose 200 or 198. It's got gaps down here at the 170 area to fill. So I don't usually like BA that much because anytime it starts to get a run, it just gets hammered on. As you can see here, started to run, pulled back a little bit, popped a little more here, then dumped, came back up, dumped, came back up here. We're kind of having this kind of a scenario right here. Pulls up, pulls back, comes back up like it did here. Made new high over here over the 183 area. I mean, we could punch through 220, and then we could dump back into the 180. So kind of like what happened here over here. It's kind of looking the same. So definitely keep an eye on both sides of BA, because BA could end up having a pretty good run on that. Meta is just it did double top right up here, and it's starting to pull back, but who knows if it will actually drop here or if we're going to end up pushing the 750 plus. But I would watch Meta underneath 710 for push down to 700 into the 680 area. And we lose 680. This got, see, it's got all kinds of gaps to fill down here at 615, 575, well, 570. It's really nauseating to see that Meta made it to 700, and I bought it down here, and I ended up selling it like at the 200s, 250 or something like that, maybe 300. Maybe it was 300. I don't know. I sold it in here somewhere, and it just kept going and going. So yeah. Oh well. Anyways, my take on Meta was that. So now the last one is Microsoft. Microsoft, it just keeps going and going. I mean, look at the weekly candles. I mean, the RSI on the daily is just absurd. The weekly is just getting over 70. All these green candles, I mean, it's getting crazy. But we have a bearish divergence going on. Our price is going up. It's been happening since this gap up over here since May. This is why you don't front load divergences, because this is what happened to Roku. This is what happened to Baidu. It just kept going. The divergences could take days, weeks, even months to play out. In this case, it's been months, and we haven't seen anything on Microsoft to pull back. So it's just AI hope and stuff like that. So it gets over 500, maybe it pushes to 505, 510, 520. But there's such a massive divergence going on. I would not be looking at that. Even though we do get a inverted head and shoulders on the hourly, the left, the head and the right shoulder, over 500 we could push. But I'd be more interested if it gets underneath this 490 area. Well, 490 is pretty far away, but if it gets under this low of 494 for 490 and it breaks 490, then we got a pretty good size drop to 480. So over here, so some things to look for. But like I said, unless something happens with Powell or tariff news, I'm just imagining that we're going to keep chugging along until earnings. I'm not really watching Netflix, but Netflix is one that you could keep an eye on too. This is one that, this is the earnings gap up right here. It was right around 950, and we're up to up to $1,300 per share. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, this is pointing out what I said earlier, that Netflix and many others are had such a crazy run that their earnings is going to have to be perfect and their guidance is going to have to be perfect, or we're going to see a lot of pullbacks on earnings. So yeah, I mean, if you do look at Netflix, I would keep an eye on underneath 1280 for push to 1250. So, but yeah, earnings is going to be interesting this season. That's going to do it for the watch list, and thanks for watching.